don't care if I offend you. I was put here to upset you.
That's it.
You can cry and you can
So that ain't gonna happen. Oh, did you
Check out the portal?
yeah.
No.
No?
What the fuck is going on?
Okay.
Let's turn it on.
What's up, everybody? We're already
we're
on.
already
Yeah, we're
recording?
already on. We've been
You have to cut
recording
out that first part. You know, about the hammering.
Oh, that's fine. We're not monetized anyways. So there was Meridia, right?
Yeah.
The super colony.
Where it's being
It was
destroyed.
completely lost. Yeah. So
Oh, we destroyed it or we lost it?
it was lost from before. Remember, you couldn't go to it anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So the major order last week was
Destroy Meridia.
they had the dark fluid, which you'd go in, and it was basically your drill mission. You go, you know how you get soil samples?
Hold on.
Holding. We're holding.
Oh, okay. Play. Unpause. Resume.
You know how you get your soil samples?
Yeah.
Those missions?
Your
It was-
common samples.
it was kinda
Oh,
like-
the soil. Oh, yes.
It was kind of like that. So you'd call down your drill, and then you'd call down the dark fluid matter, and you'd throw it on your back.
Which worked as a jetpack.
It does. It was cool. And it was better than the jetpack, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because you could go off a ledge, and then it would slowly bring you down. Anyway, so you'd go into Meridia. You'd have to do 3 of these spots, 3 places to drill.
And it's fucking intense.
Intense is the fucking word. Before they fixed it, they did a hot patch. Because before that, your bug breaches would spawn on the fucking drill.
Yeah.
Like literally, they'd come up from the drill. That's why when I think I sent it to you before sometime last week, I was like, I have played this mission. I've won twice, and I've not extracted from any of them. Every time I was playing, we'd get in, and we'd either fail miserably, and people would quit so often.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I can't do this. I'd stay. I was like, maybe there's a chance, but as soon as one person left, it's like, we lost.
Even on medium.
It was fucking intense. I dropped it all the way down to 6 just because like
Extreme?
I was like,
Yeah.
I want to figure out how to do that. Once I got it, it was a combination of once we got it, I was like, okay, I know what to do now. I know what the biggest problem I had was the loadout. I was like, what do I use?
Yeah, because mine standard loadout.
My loadout where I get like 600, 700, 800 kills.
Yeah.
It did fucking nothing.
Yeah,
I'm
still tweaking with mine.
I had to change it
Tinkering.
completely. I had to go to completely defense. Stun grenades, EMS mortar, EMS orbital strike. It was everything to slow everything down. I had one offensive stratagem.
Yeah.
One. Everything else was stop them. And that worked. And as long as you had at least 2 people on there, it made it easy. So then I could go to Helldive and actually complete it. So we started doing that. And then they did the hot fix, and then they made it so they weren't spawning on top of the drill anymore, which made a fucking world of difference.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now we can go through this. And then you start to see the bar for the progress start to go up. Well, yesterday, we finished it. It's completed. And all of a sudden you were playing a mission, and then all of a sudden you get pulled out of the mission, and you're on your bridge, and it says emergency evacuation, and then it FTL jumps you to Super Earth. And then you go to the map on your ship, and it says, like a critical something or other, like critical mass detection or something like that. So you go and you watch, and then Meridia just disappears like digitally off the map. So then you go back to it, and it's a giant black hole. And it's awesome because while you're there, like you can hear the creaking of the ship because you're right before the event horizon.
Yeah.
And you can see things getting pulled into it. And there's this weird ambiance drone you can hear in the background. It's really fucking like it's really creepy. So Meridia is no more. But some people are pointing out that if you listen to it, and this is from Helldivers 1, the people that played that, it's the Illuminate war theme really low. Like the tone dropped really low and slow. I was like, that's the Illuminate war theme. I was like, really? Well, I think anyone who's played this, like, this is where the Illuminate are going to come in at some point really quick here now.
Yeah.
Because we just opened up a black hole. And my guess is they're going to come through the black hole because by Helldivers lore, and the first one at the end of it, they got exiled out of the galaxy. So I think that's where they're going to come in. They're going to come back to the galaxy through that black hole.
Oh, great.
And then we're going to have a whole new thing.
Terminids, automatons, and illuminids.
Yeah. So
It's gonna be a
and they're all
full-
high-tech aliens.
They're cyborgs.
No, they're aliens.
The illuminids?
Yeah, squid faces. They're
Oh.
the cyborgs were the cyborgs.
Oh, okay.
The automatons were created by the
cyborgs,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. So it makes me wonder if the cyborgs are coming back. So we're gonna have 4 fucking fronts we're gonna be on. This is like the United States. It's like, let's fight everybody.
We're going to get it in every hole.
So yeah,
And
that's
some.
that's
If you
that.
think about it, a guy can take on 4 dudes at once. 1, 2, 3, and his butthole makes 4. We're going to get it from every direction. We just got to fight them all.
Speaking of, I had another.
Block, high kick, explosion.
Double sun power.
But wait, how's the whole commercial go?
Oh God, I don't remember. That was years. That was like 20 years ago. Almost.
But then the sun explodes. But then it's too dark. And something. Fuck Christ.
I can't remember. That was years ago.
I got this.
Jeez Louise.
Oh.
No, jeez. Well, you looked. Actually, I'll wait till you look that up. Because that's going to be. I'm going to get that out of your system first.
Yeah, please. It's going to bother them.
Hold on. Just.
You know how it goes.
Please hold. Oh, jeez.
Fuck you. Terry Crews. Old Spice commercial.
Block.
Wait. Old Spice commercials. No.
It's not the same one.
No, God.
The double sun power and whatever you're talking
Double
about.
Sun Power.
Double sun power. Remember, I used to do that all the time in college.
There you go. Old Spice song commercial.
Everybody wants it. So powerful, it can block BO for 16 hours. It's so powerful,
It can
turn
block-
off the sun.
Yeah.
But then it gets too cold, so it makes another sun. Double sun power! Power!
It's so powerful it can block out the sun. But then it gets cold and it creates another sun.
I remember I was so upset when they got that other guy that started doing all
this is the guy.
Yeah,
I
I'm
am the
like,
guy. But you know
who the
they started
fuck is this
commercials
guy?
together.
Did they?
Yeah.
I was so mad that Terry Crews.
No, it was great. Oh my God! Hold on. I can't believe you didn't know that.
I was like, Terry Crews is awesome. Fuck this other guy. Everyone loved the other guy though. He's like, this is the guy or whatever his name was. Like, fuck him.
No, it was it was good. I liked them. It was a good one. But Old Spice and So It Begins.
I've missed you. May I speak privately to the man in your life? Thank you. Men, take your body to nature with Old Spice Timber. It's what the angel-faced woman in your life deserves. Sound good? Fantastic. Goodbye. Hello again, ladies. I know. I shouldn't have, but I did. Soon your man will be able to smell like he can use this. While riding one of these and sweeping your way to... It's you.
It's me! Goodbye! Don't use timber! Use me!
Got it.
Bear Gloves the best in the world!
Timber.
I can't believe you didn't know that.
like
They did commercials
Just
together.
because the Terry Crews one was just so off the wall. All his
Yeah.
commercials. I'm like, this is like my humor right there. That's perfect.
And that's
then-
it. When he started doing those, I was like, okay, that was good.
And then the guy that replaced him came in. I'm like, they're so like watered down.
But they found a
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, there's a few of those. It's you. It's me.
Oh, it's you. Jeez.
Oh, they were good too, man.
Yeah, that one was good.
There's a few of them like that because he does this whole, oh, ladies, gentlemen, ladies. He does the serious
Yeah.
side of it, and then Terry Crews comes in and fucks the shit up.
Love Terry Crews.
Hell yeah.
He's still awesome.
Yeah, he is.
Um,
Speaking of awesome,
oh, he's drinking.
It's water, okay? Flavored water.
Yeah.
With 0 sugar.
Water.
With 0 sugar.
Ice cubes.
This has sodium in it. That's good
So
for you.
electrolytes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's awesome?
I don't remember. Oh, fuck.
Oh, this guy's on it.
We're going to have our first criminal president.
He's going to be a felon. Did you pay attention to anything during the trial?
I kind of overheard things.
Okay. So, what did you hear? Just so I can get just your generic listener, because obviously I'm the politico of the two of us. I eat the shit up more than I should, but
and I make the jokes.
I get
set
into
you
it,
off the tracks.
and I'm like,
that's usually what happens.
yeah, that's true.
Half the times you'll be in the middle of a big freaking political rant.
What's probably going to happen here? But
Anal seepage.
that's just about what this is. But
Usually,
go ahead.
Okay. So, long story. Okay. From what I've heard, from what I've been aware of, he was brought up on all these counts. The jury selection was sketchy. The jury was selected. Rules were changed. Laws were kind of bent and remolded to kind of fit this case. He's been found guilty. What I know is all of the counts that they brought him up on weren't felonies. They were misdemeanors. But they become felonies when they are meant to conceal another crime.
Right.
Or intended to pursue another crime.
Right.
So I know that it wasn't a unanimous decision. It was a unanimous decision, but the judge modified, I guess, the conditions as to how they could find him guilty. A few of them, as long as everybody thought he was guilty of something, they all didn't have to agree what he was guilty for.
Right.
And then he'd be found guilty.
Yeah.
So this doesn't not came out of the presidential race.
No.
It won't.
No.
But from what I've heard and what I've seen, and I've actually done some digging into this because it was one of those conspiracy theories. I'm like, look, Donald Trump's smart, but this is planning
He's playing 5D chess.
8D.
Yeah.
This is planning on a 20-year level.
You're talking about because I heard the thing where, not to cut you off, but I heard the thing where it's Trump, this is all part of Trump's plan, to be prosecuted. I'm like, boy, that's really going out there.
Well, here's why, because I did some research into this one. So the way they amended these, now it's set in stone. This is how it can be. Well, guess what? President Trump comes back into office, and now he's got the hand. He's got the hand on the throttle.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't.
He's like, okay, well, just so you're aware, these laws that were now changed and modified, and you can be found guilty on. Now I'm gonna start taking some of these people to court, and start holding some of these political people responsible for a lot of the shit that's been going on.
Are you talking about the people, the jury members or
No.
the judge?
No,
Okay.
the DOJ,
All right,
Fauci,
thinking, all right.
a lot of these people that have been getting away with a lot of shit.
I heard I was watching, just for shits and giggles today, I was listening to clips from MSNBC on their take of the whole thing. And boy, that was a treat. That was, when you listen to something, and this is kind of an exaggeration, but they're like,
Keywords, kind of an exaggeration, you fucking snowflakes.
We'll just take verbatim what they were saying. They dropped the true word like it was a comma. Like, this is the factual truth, and this is true testimony from their. All they did was look at the facts over the last 3 weeks. It was factual information. They were looking at facts. They were doing truthful work, honest work. Like, they dropped that, like, really trying to push. Like, there's nothing to see here.
Oh, no, there's plenty to see, but it's all the truth. Now look at what we're showing you, no one else.
Yeah, and
like, look at my penis, not the other ones.
And normally I would be like, yeah, whatever, okay. I think what you just said is pretty much, I think, what people that kind of, actually, probably more than just generic, like, generally pay attention to things. Like, obviously, because we do this show, so we talk about more than most people probably pay attention to.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the general synopsis is, I think most people listen to it and I don't think catch exactly why he's guilty. I think most people are going to listen to this that don't pay attention to anything and be like, oh, geez, he's guilty. Why does he have such a following still? But I think now, because specifically the pandemic and everyone's paying attention to everything now, most people went, now wait a minute. Of course, Trump's base is going to go bullshit. But like, no matter what happened, they would have said bullshit. If it was against Trump, they would say bullshit. So you expect that. It's no different than MSN and
Fox
Biden.
And CNBC.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Or CBS, whatever.
But when you have Dave Smith, who's a member of the Libertarian Party, like a major member of the Libertarian Party, him saying, listen, I am very outspoken in my criticism of Donald Trump. For a lot of reasons. He said he did things that I like, but there's a lot of things he did. And people he put in place in his cabinet, different policies he had, he's very outspoken against them. He even says, this is pretty obvious what just happened here. This is weaponization of the DOJ. And that's a big thing that's been going around right now. And here's the thing I think a lot of people... Like, as soon as you say that, a lot of people on the left are going to be like, that's just a term you're throwing out, weaponization of DOJ. How do you even do that? And I think a lot of people don't really understand why. And this is a problem with a lot of arguments. You'll get like this blanket statement that put out and be like, well, explain that. And you're like, well, and it's more of a feeling. It's like just a gut feeling. There's weaponizing against them. They're going against them. It's clear. Yes, it's clear they're going against them. But here's the reason. Like you said, so they brought up charges against him for falsifying documents, which in New York State, they couldn't do it on a federal level. They wouldn't approach it. So they had to go to a state level. So they went to New York. Of course. It's a plus 23, a D plus 23 state, which means a very blue state. So of course they're going to go there. So he had, I think there were it was a misdemeanor misdemeanor in second degree, class A. That's what the charge of falsifying documentation is. Okay. Now, if they can prove that it's falsifying documentation in furtherance of another crime, that's when you can move it to a felony.
Yeah.
Fine. The problem is they never clarified what the second crime was.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
That was never clarified.
Until the closing statements.
So, what the judge did was he gave options to the jury. He said, okay, listen, we have 3 different things that you can say. He falsified documentation that was across the board. Everyone's like, okay, yes. For what? One was falsifying additional records. The second one was federal election violations. And the third one was improper tax filing. So he gave the jury the options of, as long as you find him guilty on one of these things, I'm going to count it as guilty across the board. Here's the problem with that. I had to look up the penal code to figure this out. If you have 4 people that say, okay, he's guilty of A, and then 4 people say, I think he's guilty of falsifying documents, but not for A. I don't think he's guilty of that. I think it's B. And then another 4 people say, I don't think it's A or B, but I do think it's C. So between all 12 of them, you have a guilty verdict of falsifying documentation. What you don't have is a guilty verdict of falsifying documents for this reason, which would make it a felony. So all you have in this case, when they came out with the verdict, is a misdemeanor charge that he was convicted of. But to have all 12 people vote for, like, say, this is what he's guilty for, or this is what he's guilty for, or this is what he's guilty for, you didn't have that. So that's not a felony.
Nope.
So he was charged with a felony. Basically, it's like taking a fucking multiple choice like question test, and it's like, okay, A, B, and C are right, and make sure you pass. Like, come on. Like, talk about a participation award. But you can't say, okay, I don't think it's A or this or that, or even if one person's like, nah, I don't think it's this. But because they all chose something, and the judge went, as long as you agree that something here is right, that's the problem. I think a lot of people, including Dave Smith and a whole bunch of other people, clearly have.
90% of the judicial system has been like, wait a minute.
Everywhere. I'm not talking about Republicans and all that bullshit. I'm talking about people across the board, normies, and be like, well, that doesn't seem right. Because that's why I was like, I want to listen to MSN. Just out of curiosity, and see how they spin this. And holy shit, it's like everything was done truthfully. There were only facts, and they did their job the way they're supposed to do. And when you listen to someone and they're pushing a narrative really hard, you'd be like, I don't believe you. Just because you're pushing something so hard, like, listen, that door is definitely closed behind you. There's no way it could open. Never. It will not open. Not even if you turn around and look at it, it will not be open. There's definitely not a door there anymore. There's no door there. It's not a door. It's all a wall. It's not even a wall. It's all beads.
You're right. I only see action figures.
You see? But that's what it felt like listening to him, like, blah, 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 facts, blah, 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 truth facts, blah, blah, facts, blah, facts, blah, 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 facts. I'm like, jeez. After a while, you just start to filter out all the other words, and all you hear is facts, 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 facts. And then I took my They Live sunglasses off and hearing aid out, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. But that's the problem, I think. Well, not that I think. That's the problem that I have with the case. Like, how do you can't just say, okay, it's a federal offense, even if you don't all agree on what the felony charge is. But that doesn't fucking make sense.
But that's another thing too. Like, so he has not been convicted of a felony charge.
Not yet. Not until July 11th, when the hearing. I mean, he was convicted of it, yes, but this is going to be a semantics thing that the left is going to run with until his actual arraignment. Which, whatever, because he can appeal it. And will he appeal it? Probably.
And will he take it higher than the New York State court? Yeah.
Here's the question. Do you think he goes, whether he appeals it or not, let's say they say no, and they, what's the word? During his arraignment, they give him his sentence, whatever it is. Do you think he will do time?
No.
You think he'll wear a jumpsuit? Initially, I was like, nah, he won't. And then I thought about it. I'm like, but wouldn't they go that far for the optics? Even if they said, listen, because the minimum charge was 4 years? No, it was 1 year? I think it's 1 to 4 years per felony charge. So it's anywhere from 34 to 136 years or something like that. Which is like, okay. But I thought about it. I'm like, they've gone so far already with so many different things. I wouldn't be shocked if they tried to get that image of him, like, just in cuffs and fucking jumpsuit. And if they did that, I almost think it would be a martyr. It would create a martyr.
And they think it's gonna. They think it's gonna work too. They think it's gonna work in their favor, and it's not.
I guess they're trying to take Secret Service away from him if he ends up doing time. Which is wild. I'm like, so you're basically like, you're leaving him open to get Epstein then.
On top of that, they can't.
Not supposed to, anyway. I don't know about can't.
Obama still has his Secret Service.
They're all supposed to, yes. Yeah. They're not supposed to. But can you in all good faith say, no, they can't, and they won't? is I just don't think so. The fact that they did this with this case and just reached for this crazy ass verdict, and the whole time the country is like, what is going on here?
They are grabbing at straws, and right now all they got, basically they're trying to put their hand into the popcorn bucket to grab a kernel, and all they're getting is a dick, and they don't realize it. Trump has literally cut the hole out of the bottom of the popcorn bucket and said, good, reach in there and grab your popcorn. You're going to win. Good, reach and grab it. That's my wiener.
Popcorn.
I don't think he's going to do time. I don't think you're going to see him in a jumpsuit. I don't think you're going to see him cuffs.
I think there's a better chance he won't, but...
The fact of the matter is, everything they've done... This dude's already made $53 million because of this.
Yeah, what was it, 12 hours or 24, whatever it was, from people donating a shit ton?
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you right there, he made more in a 24-hour span than Biden did the entire month of April. Like, Biden brought in, I think like 24 or 25 million for April. And then the verdict comes down for May. For May, I think Trump brought in like 170-some million, and 53 of it was in a 24-hour span after the verdict.
So, like, the left, the Democrats, the extremists, because ironically enough, throughout all of this, you're starting to see some left and some Democrats go, wait a minute, hold up, something ain't right here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Dave
Unions
Smith
are crossing over.
So a libertarian, hardcore libertarians being like, this is so obvious. When Chris Cuomo, he is even like, listen, he did what he did, and that's wrong. Of course, he's going to have that more left-leaning take. But even Chris Cuomo was like, this is definitely an attack. This is definitely an attack from this administration. Like, come on. If Chris Cuomo is fucking at least halfway agreeing with it.
And back to what I was saying. I don't think, because the minute he already had staff literally waiting. The minute he gave a cue, boom, the phone call started going. Hey, we want to appeal. Hey, we want to do this. We're going to file all the paperwork. Right. They're going to push this out of the state court. They have to.
They can. Out of New York State?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They could push it out of New York, no problem. They could even bump it up to a federal court level.
I don't think the federal court will take it. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe the Supreme Court will take it. But I thought I heard some of the Supreme Court already said they're not going to touch it.
They say that now, but when you've got this much backlash going at it, you've got this many people back and on both sides going, wait a minute, hold up, something ain't right here. You got this many people. At this point, the Supreme Court, people are going to start knocking on the door. Hey, come on. There's something wrong here. If you let this slide, you are literally going to lose the faith of the American people in our judicial system. It's bad enough it's already shaken as it is.
That's another thing that MSN was saying, too. It's like the Republicans need to accept what just happened. Because as soon as you lose faith in the justice system, that's when you have, like, a breakdown from within. And I heard him say that, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like, did you watch any of this trial?
And that's all he
like,
needed to say.
People are already there. People are already there because of this whole thing, the way it panned out. And you're like, oh, no, you can't lose. You have to accept it the way it is. I'm like, oh, come on.
No, we don't. That's what the judicial system is all about.
All right.
Even if, look at Darrell Brooks. Remember the Darrell Brooks K? He ran over a bunch of people in his car?
Yeah.
Even he is still trying to appeal. You don't have to accept something. You have to deal with
whatever conviction it is at the time.
You have to deal. Well, no. What's the word I'm thinking of? You have to deal with the conditions that fall with the verdict.
Right.
But you can appeal and not agree with it. Right. You have to serve your time and keep appealing. You have to do the proper things. You can try to get another case. You can try to get decisions overturned. You can do that. That's the thing. You have to deal with the consequences of everything, but you don't have to accept it.
Right.
You have to do your time and push. The minute, I guarantee you, before he even walked into the courtroom that day, everybody was ready to press the button. Let's go. Let's get this going. Let's get it out of the New York State court. Let's get it to a court where now a state level can't fuck with it. And because come on, how many things? This is one of the things I did happen to over here. There was the proceedings. They did not. The defense kept saying, "What's the second charge?" The judge kept saying, "Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You'll find out."
It was, which was baffling to me.
That's against the law.
Right.
Then on top of that, that's one basic right there. Then the judge amends the conditions to find a guilty verdict. You can't do that.
No.
Because that'd be like a rapist going in and the judge saying, "Look, if 4 of you think he's guilty of rape, 4 of you think he's guilty of physical assault, 4 of you think he's guilty of being on the property when he shouldn't have been, we'll find him guilty and convict him of something."
Right. Yeah.
No. It has to be a unanimous decision.
That's what I was saying. Like if they all agree on one of those 3 things, all you did was convict them of a misdemeanor. That's it. But if they can't all agree on one of the 3 things,
null and void.
then it's not a felony. It's just not a felony. It's not. It's at best a minor misdemeanor. You know what's fucking crazy about it too?
Go ahead. Pause. Just really quick. So then it changed the conditions to find a guilty verdict, which you cannot do.
Right.
Then closing statements. The prosecution always goes first. Mm-hmm. The defense always has their last say.
Right. They get a rebuttal.
The defense was ordered to go first. Mm-hmm. And then the prosecution was allowed, and the defense, you can't say anything during closing statements. You can't.
You know what that's the equivalent of? You watch football. Instead of the defense going on the field to block the offense, it's like the offense goes on the field first, marches down the field and scores, and then the defense like, okay, now you can go out.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. It's like, okay, defense, go out. It's like, there's no one out here. And you're done. Now the offense gets to go out. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why do I even defend that?
And then that's when they dropped the whole election fraud thing.
Yeah.
He was found not guilty on that.
Yeah, already.
So now,
and that was
your closing statement finally included the second charge, the felony charge, which he was already found not guilty on. So basically it's, here's a unicorn. No, that's your wiener in your hand. No, it's a unicorn. That's all it was.
With the, like I was going to say, what's really wild about the whole thing, this whole thing transpired from Trump's own money. Like the whole thing with Cohen was, that's a whole other thing too, which we touched on before. But the fucking Cohen basically admitting to grand larceny on the stand. Like Cohen takes out money. What is he? He takes out $20,000 of Trump's money, Trump's personal money, to pay off Stormy Daniels, and then he goes to who do you go to? Hold on a minute. I have it written down somewhere here. Okay, yeah. And then he goes to Costello. He told Costello the reason. Then he asked for a reimbursement from the Trump organization for legal expenses, quote unquote, of $50,000. Weisenberg agrees to reimburse him, and then Cohen ends up pocketing $30,000. He did this on multiple occasions. This is where they said this is a possible a total of, I think they said $250,000.
Yeah.
It was like $250,000. So he does that. That's not the that's not like the wild thing. The wild thing is, so it was Trump's personal money that was used here to falsify records, right? Well, then you got Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton ended up taking $10 million from campaign funds, which is already fucking illegal. Mm-hmm. Publicly raised funds, hid it as legal expenses, which is a felony, and hired Fusion GPS to create the Steele dossier under the Russia collusion hoax. She then falsified documents this is the legal expenses, and she was hit with a small fine and a misdemeanor. And then Trump, using his money, which is nothing illegal, falsifies documents in furtherance of a crime that was never clarified until the end, but then they're still giving a fucking multiple choice quiz, like it's a state test. And then they're like, good enough, you're guilty. So Hillary can do it. But I would say this would set a precedent going forward, like you said. Like, okay, this sets a precedent. Now Trump can do this. And that's why I asked you before, is like, do you think he's going to go after the jury and everything? Because I think that would be a waste of time.
No, I don't think he'll go after the jury. But I think what they did do by him, but what I think, and this is what I meant, like this is some 8D chess here. Like this is like 20 years in the planning. Like before he even considered running for presidency back in 2012 or joking around back, like, yeah, no. I think this, in order for that to be legit, I think that's some like 15, 20-year planning. 10, 15-year planning on his part
Right.
to get these people like, okay, there's going to come a time when I'm going to piss you off and you're going to do something stupid and it's going to give me the way to fucking get you back for it. Or get you for the same shit you're getting me for.
I hope he doesn't do that, though. Like, I don't want him to... I want him to go in and clean up the system as it is now.
And what better way than to start nailing people for some of the things
But I
that they've
don't
been doing?
want him to do it as a vindictive thing.
Oh,
you know,
God, no.
because you know what'll
He's not
happen. The
stupid.
progressive left will look at that and be like, "We told you he's doing exactly what is happening right now, and just going after political opponents." That's what I don't want him to do, and that's a slippery slope. It's like this weird, like really fine, delicate line you have to balance.
We've been fucking sliding down that slope this whole last 4 years.
We have, but I just don't, because you know what happens? Same thing with the Patriot Act, is you set a precedent, and then it's just going to turn around and bite you in the ass later down the road. And that's what's going to happen here. And this is another thing, like with Democrats. I'm like, you guys are setting something up, and this is going to fucking kill you 20 years down the road, because it'll happen to you. Because I can almost guarantee the same thing that happened the last 20 years is going to happen again. We're going to switch spots, and the Republican Party is once again going to be the party of the rich, the party of the privileged, which it was 20 years ago. And the Democratic Party will be the party of the working man. That's the way it used to be. But then that was the way it was for the longest time until Trump got in office in 2016, and all of a sudden he wanted to change a whole bunch of policies which helped the working schmuck like us. And rich people, you know, the tycoons are like, we don't like that. So then all of a sudden the Democratic Party and all the rich tycoons started vilifying Trump. I mean, that's what happened. That's why everyone likes Trump so much, except for talking heads on the left. And at this point, I firmly believe, they come up on my TikTok feed all the time, the people that have like the backgrounds are doing lives like, why is Trump, like Trump's a bad president or Biden's better than Trump, and they're doing live things just kind of fishing for people to go in and argue against them, and they're just trolling them basically.
That's
like,
all
this
it is.
Fucking
Because
crazy.
that's all the zealots have left.
Yes,
They need
two things.
They need people who are going to get hot-headed enough,
Right. And not have any kind of like
filter or sense of logic or sense of
not even that. They're just
wherewithal.
like, they go in and they just argue. They're pissed off because they're just being called fascists, which is fucking bizarre to me. Because you're talking about a group of people that will silence another side because they don't like what they say, and then they'll call them fascists. I'm like, that's fucking.
Well,
that doesn't make any sense.
I got into a discussion with a gentleman today. He's a black dude. And he was sitting there, and a joke was made. He goes, "Oh, yeah, well, you got to appreciate that white privilege card." And I go,
Yeah,
yeah, white I go, "Oh, yeah, that white privilege card? Where's mine? I'd like to get one." "Oh, you have it, you have it." I go, "Wait, I was joking, but you sound like you're serious." "Well, yeah, white privilege still exists. I deal with it every day." "Really?
But you're black.
How so?" He goes, "Well, what do you mean?" I go, "Well, what happens to you? You say you deal with it on the daily." Right. "Well, yeah. Okay, so what happens to you every day where a white person is coming out on top?" "I see it all day, every day, everywhere." I look." No, you said it happens to you."
Reasons.
I go, no, you said it happens to you." "Well, it does." "What happens?" So then we kind of went back and forth. I'm like, "Okay, so explain to me where white privilege still exists." You know, he goes, "Well, more black people are killed every day by police officers than one." I'm like, "That's bullshit."
That's false. Yeah.
I go, "That's bullshit." He goes, "Oh, I got statistics." I'm like, "I got them too." He says, "Well, let me see yours." I'm like, "That's fine." "Well, these are all white." I'm like, "No."
I say you literally.
Here's
have
the
to
left
go to
version.
DOJ.
Here's the left version. Here's the right version. Here's the center version. It's funny how they all say different things. And how they all point to a different picture. This one's wording it, well, black and white, black is suffering. This one says, black and white are suffering. This one says black and white are suffering. It's funny how they all say black and white are suffering, but only one of them says, well, but black's suffering more. And which one do you want to vote for? Long story short, long story short, all I kept like, where's your facts? Where's your proof? Like, so I even did this number. I go, all right, let's do stupid numbers. So more black people are incarcerated than white people, correct? He said, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, how much of the population is black? Let's use stupid numbers. Let's say there's
12%.
I go, let's say there's 10 billion. I go, it's a stupid numbers. Let's say there's 10 billion people living in America. There's 1 billion black people. There's 4 billion white people. So there's a lot more white people than black people. Okay, but don't forget the 2 or 3 billion Hispanics, the 2 or 3 billion Asians, Jews. You know, the minority is the majority now.
Right.
Has been for a long time. So when you go as a whole, let's say 50% of the country is incarcerated. That's 5 billion people are incarcerated. 1 billion of them are white. 500 million of them are black. 50%. That's 25% of the white population is incarcerated. 50% of the black population is incarcerated. Sounds like more black people are incarcerated than white people, doesn't it? Well, yeah, but that's how you got to look at it. You got to look at it by percentages. I'm like, no, you got to look at it by numbers.
I think they do per capita. Yeah.
Regardless, I was this just basic examples of stupid numbers. Literally how I said it. I kept saying stupid numbers. Like, I don't know the specific number of white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, black people, French people, because regardless, we're going off track here. Sorry. Well, no, the point I'm making is, like, you get these people that are so, like you were saying, that these people are doing these lives on TikTok or social or Facebook. These people are doing these commentaries on social media, any platform, trying to bait, especially the zealots, like I call them.
Right.
The lefties, the crazy lefties, who are so far left, they're literally poking the right from behind, okay? And these people are sitting there like, hey, tell me why this is wrong. And they're trying to find that one person to prove their argument. They're one person out of, let's say, stupid numbers here. Let's say there's 1 billion fucking Biden voters, 1 billion fucking Trump voters. They're trying to find that 1 out of a billion that they could say, look, everyone on the right is crazy and extreme and racist and fascist. They don't even because of one person's opinion.
They don't even need that. They just make shit up.
But then you sit there and say, well, the left is kind of crazy too. Half of you, well, that's half. That's not all of us.
Well, I say,
wait, what? You vilified an entire party or an entire group of people who think one way because of one person's opinion, but 50% of the people in this group think one thing, but that's okay. The rest of the group doesn't, so it's all right. It's acceptable.
I've said this before, it's like, because they'll throw out the Marxist or the fascist thing all the time,
yeah.
And my rebuttal is they'll say things like, why are Republicans or why is the right fascist? I'm like, the same reason that the left is Marxist. Like, I don't. But like I said before, is you'll get a group of people that call the right fascist, but then these are the group of people that will actively shut down speech and things that they don't like. I'm like, that's a fascist thing too. Like, so that doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, really quick for the folks at home. Marxism is an economic and political theory that examines the flaws inherent in capitalism. It's primarily based on the work of German philosopher and economist Karl Marx I. Marxist theories were influential in the development of socialism, which requires shared ownership by workers of the means of production.
Communist. Well, no, technically socialist, but what? That would be
fascism is a oh wow.
Yeah. Well, no, it is. By definition, it is. Yes.
When was this definition changed?
A far right?
Yeah.
No. That's what it is.
Fascism is a far right, authoritarian, ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized
Autocracy? Yeah.
for some reason, brain not do words good. Centralized autocracy. That was actually a coherent sentence, too.
Yeah.
Militarism, forcible suppression of opposition.
Now, by that definition of what's going on right now, that's what I mean. Like, he called me fascist.
I
but
don't
like,
think the Democrats are fascists. I think they're truly democratic.
yeah.
I think they're
Democracy, for democracy.
One republic, under God.
It's for democracy. Anyway, so after the trial happens, then Trump gets this influx of donations.
Oh, yeah.
Like this maximum, like crazy amount of donations. One of them was Sean McGuire, who is a physics PhD, or he's got a physics PhD in quantum space crypto security. He put something out, an article on X, and he says, I just donated $300,000 to Trump. He says, I just donated $300,000 to Trump. I'm prepared to lose friends, and here's why. Back in 2016, I had drunk the media Kool-Aid and was scared out of my mind about Trump. As such, I donated to Hillary Clinton's campaign and voted for her. By 2020, I was disillusioned and didn't vote. I didn't like either option. Now, in 2024, I believe this is one of the most important elections of my life, and I'm supporting Trump. I know that I'll lose friends for this. Some will refuse to do business with me. The media will probably demonize me, as they have so many others before me. But despite this, I still believe it's the right thing to do. I refuse to live in a society where people are afraid to speak. The 2016 election, I'm going to start off as something provocative, but I think it leads to a different take on the most controversial Trump issue, which is obviously January 6th. So here goes nothing. I believe in 2016, the election was manipulated to hurt Hillary Clinton and help Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton herself believes this. She has denied the 2016 election results dozens of times. Election denier.
Yep, but that's okay.
Yeah. And still does to this day. Plot twist. I agree with her. Look into Grucifer 2.0, which is the hacker group, that strategically leaked her emails through WikiLeaks in a drip campaign at just the right moments. Turns out it was the Russian GRU. And remember all those fake news about bot farms? These incidents are the tip of the spear. Some of the publicly known incidents, there was extreme manipulation happening during 2016's elections. Before proceeding, please watch at least 30 seconds of this video. It's 24 straight minutes of Democrats denying election results. Russia and others interfering in the 2016 election was nothing new. This happens in every election, everywhere in the world, obviously. But for me, as someone that used to work in national security, Russia's implicit support for Trump made me deathly afraid of him getting elected as president. I was wrong, and Russia miscalculated. President Trump turned out to be a master of foreign policy and particularly strong towards Russia. If you've never seen it before, please watch. There's another thing for a video. A clip from Trump at NATO breakfast 5 years ago. If you're too lazy, Trump told Germany that they're A, owned by Russia via their energy dependence, B, financing Russia's war machine by buying their energy, and C, not investing enough in defense, investing only 1% of GDP, which was below the 2% NATO commitment. Meanwhile, the U.S. was investing 4.2% of GDP, and yet the world said he's owned by Russia. For other Trump foreign policy wins, he A, signed the Abraham Accords, B, successfully put Iran in a penalty box, which the Biden administration immediately unwound, and C, he helped India see the dangers of having their comms network controlled by China, resulting in Huawei and TikTok bans there. My radicalization, air quotes, toward the center, and August 16th of 2021 was the day I knew I could never support Joe Biden or any of the senior officials in his administration. This was the day that Afghans fell to their deaths from the US C-17 airplanes at the Kabul International Airport, or KIA as ISAF forces referred to it. Back in 2012, I deployed to Afghanistan working for DARPA. I used to fly out of KI at least weekly, usually taking a Black Hawk to blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm not going to go into all the details here, but this was personal for me. It was for anyone that served in Afghanistan. Most having the wrong impression of what happened there. Afghanistan wasn't Iraq. The real progress had been made. It took roughly 15 years to stabilize most of Afghanistan, but the ISAF coalition had gotten it to the place that little girls were going to school in Kabul, sometimes walked there by their mothers, who weren't even wearing burqas anymore. All of this was unimaginable a decade prior. And then there was a strategic aspect. The U.S.'s most strategic base in Afghanistan was Bagram Airfield. Unless you've been there, it's impossible to imagine how strategic its base is. Okay, we gave up one of the most strategic air bases in the world, and arguably stability of Kabul for political gain. To be able to say that President Biden ended the war in Afghanistan, and we did it in the most incompetent manner possible, literally with people falling out of the airplanes. Everyone had spoken with that served in Afghanistan knows this. And then he talks about global instability, talking about Ukraine. I believe the Biden administration had some of the worst foreign policy in decades. It has manifested in two major wars breaking out during the administration, with Russia's invasion of Ukraine and Iran's proxy war with Israel. Was the timing just bad luck? I don't believe so. I believe that a weak America leads to a chaotic world. The failed Afghani pullout showed the weakness of Biden's administration. They failed to adapt to changing facts around the world, chiefly the Afghan army, putting up no resistance as the Taliban drove towards Kabul. They lost fucking like within what days after they left.
It was hard to watch and read.
Yeah. The most damaging foreign policy has been the Biden administration's approach to Iran. Yeah, the level of weakness is unprecedented, in my opinion. The U.S. has been kissing the ring of its attacker, literally while attacks against our armed forces are carried out. And then he goes on to talk about Israel. And then the double standards. The classified documents, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Mike Pence, and Donald Trump were all caught with classified documents. Only Trump was indicted. Either it's a crime for all of them, or none of them. All the arguments about quantity of documents or obstruction are distractions to justify a double standard. And that... damn it. That's another thing, too. I think it was on CNN. Someone on CNN said if the only reason this was brought against Trump is because his name is Donald Trump. That's paraphrasing, but that's what it is. What was toted all over CNN was, this shows that nobody is above the law. And like Dave Smith said, that's not true, because anybody in power, everybody's above the law, except Donald Trump. The border wall, Trump was vilified for promoting a border wall, and then Biden resumed building sections of it after pausing them, which the legacy media has been very quiet about. Election denialism. Yes, Trump denied 2020. But as we linked above, so did Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden regarding the 2016 results. Corruption charges. Every inch has been searched for Trump's corruption, while Joe Biden's involvement with foreign countries through Hunter have been swept under the rug and still are.
Doesn't the jury selection start for that?
For
Hunter Biden?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
3 strikes for thee, but not for me. Joe Biden was the architect in the 1994 crime bill, which most attribute as the source of the mass incarceration we saw over the next 2 decades, especially amongst the black communities. Crack cocaine, and particularly in particular, was treated harshly when combined with the 1986 Drug Abuse Act. Hunter Biden's would be locked up for life if the same rules were applied to him that Joe Biden imposed on thousands of others. And then it just goes, I mean, the list of all the comparisons.
Oh, yeah.
Bank fraud, hush money case. Key witness Michael Cohen is a proven liar. His testimony has been filled with contradictions after contradiction. Well, this is the reason everyone, I mean, this is actually beautifully laid out. Like, every reason we've talked about over the years, really. Like, this is why people are liking Biden less and less and less, and supporting Trump more and more and more. Because they're showing right out in the open, they are attacking Trump because he is either doing or they are framing him for everything that they are doing or have done. And nothing was done to them. That's a problem.
And I think that's where the whole conspiracy theory about Trump kind of going along with all this is coming into play. It's like, look, you nailed me to a cross, for lack of a better turn of phrase. You nailed me to a cross.
Yeah.
You said no one's above the law. So now everybody who's been guilty of something needs to be held accountable.
Right.
It's nothing personal, but if we're going to reestablish faith in this judicial system of this great country, people need to see that all the powers that be are not above it.
Trump's own cabinet framed him. Damn it. Framed
Sounds
him.
like you need a soda.
No, yeah, I know, right? They framed him for I was gonna say perjury. For what the fuck was it?
Having sexual relations with a woman in the Oval Office?
No, that was Clinton. The other Clinton.
No, it was probably both.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Yeah, shampoo that rug.
Yeah.
I gotta get ready for this office to be mine. Wait, it's not gonna be mine?
Yeah.
Can he finish? Yeah, you got time. Hurry up. Did you just fart in my mouth? Front fart.
Oh, don't worry about it.
No. Front fart.
They framed him for treason. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Like his own cabinet. Like they've been after this guy for fucking everything. You know what conveniently happened too? During the this whole trial and the conviction specifically, the United States greenlit Ukraine to use United States weapons against Russia the exact same fucking day that they dropped the... We're not at war with Russia, though. We're not at war with Russia.
But wait. Wait a minute. Doesn't the left say guns are bad? They kill people?
Don't worry about it. We don't talk about those guns. So, after all this, immediately, he walks out of the trial. Trump has his press conference, and he's like, the crooked thing. And then the left, of course, runs with it. It's like, he thinks everything's crooked, that he doesn't win, blah, 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 the elections. I'm like, well, they kind of all are. I mean, if you just kind of look at it objectively, and everyone, of course, no one's going to...
You don't have to look at it objectively, just read it.
Anyone who... The only people that are going to deny any of this is like, no, this is fair the way it was. There's two people. One that are just talking heads, and they are the equivalent of Jonestown fucking Kool-Aid drinkers. And be like, no, it's all right. It's all real. Or the people that are just willfully ignorant. I'm not paying attention.
Those are the people that listened to Jones when he said, don't worry, the screaming and crying is okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The willfully ignorant. Those are the only... Everyone else is be like, no. In some way, shape, or form. So, yeah, he does a presser, makes his comments, it was rigged, whatever. And then, here's another thing, too. The arraignment, July 11th, is 4 days before the Republican nomination. I believe the Republican nomination for their primary, or who's going to run, their general. Tell me that wasn't fucking planned.
Oh yeah. Usually it takes months to get fucking arraigned. But it's President Trump, so we can speed this
Like,
up.
it's just one of those things, like, everything lines up. It's like, this is... No, it's just the way it happens.
That's funny. Ask all
Factual-
the fucking people that have been through court and serving time now. They had to wait fucking 6 months, a fucking year for their arraignment.
Factual, truthful information. So, yeah, after all that, this is what I'm getting to here.
Fucking Christ.
Trump joins TikTok.
I saw that. I followed.
Did you?
Did you?
It was funny. I followed. He was like at 600,000 followers. I'm like, oh, wow.
See what he's up to now.
It was literally a few hours later. He was at like 1 million. Last I knew, he was at like 2.8 million followers. And that was, I think, at some point yesterday or something. Maybe it was Saturday. It was a while.
4.6 million.
So he's been on for what? 48 hours? Joe Biden's been on since February. And he's got like 300,000 followers. And those are probably
Let's
half
see.
fucking bots. Because the Democrats are like, oh, we got to bolster his numbers.
Is it Biden Harris?
Yes.
I gotta find
Blue check mark. It's a Biden Harris
Biden
something.
Harris.
337 or something like that.
351.5 thousand.
Oh,
fucking
jeez.
followers.
He got like, what, 14 fucking thousand people. Those are probably all bots. But look,
got-
we're growing too.
He's got 4.6 million likes.
Donald Trump
Wait, what was that?
lost the fundamental freedom to control their own bodies.
Oh, fuck's sake. Donald Trump official. 4.7 million likes. He's got 0.1 million more likes than fucking Biden does.
And that's in like 2 days.
And 4 million more followers.
It's just the whole thing's wild to me, man. But you see the guy go to like UFC events and everything, and everyone like he went to the libertarian convention, national convention.
Yeah,
When
we talked about that.
He went to that and he got booed, which we said before. It's like you figure that's gonna happen.
There was
But
a few.
They got cheered, yeah.
Yeah.
He got cheered, but I mean, he was gonna get like some pushback, and he did.
It was like a jet going into Sharks territory.
But yeah, but he was going into like a political opponent like gathering, basically. Not the extreme left, who probably would have taken shots at him, figuratively and literally. But it's the Libertarian Party.
And then it would have been. It wasn't a left. It was a foreign dignity. It was a foreign. They would have fucking. It was an angry person from Central America who was seeking asylum and was distraught that the one place they felt safe, they were being oppressed
And
by his presence.
MS talking about asylum. MSN's like spinning everything that Trump says now, and he's like, "Well, Trump's pushing these lies and these conspiracy theories that there's military people coming over the border, 29,000 Chinese military men." Anything to take the fucking spotlight off him. I was like, no, that's another thing. He's like, well, he's kind of a loose cannon, and I think his emotions are getting the better of him, and he's kind of like getting old because he can't string together a sentence. Yeah, that's about the same reaction I had at that point. I'm like,
Hi, I'm Earth. Have we met?
yeah, I don't think so. But that's the fucking reaction I had. He's like, well, he can't really string a sentence together. I'm like, I was like, am I in the same reality? Did I get fucking sucked through that black hole in Helldivers? Like,
I think so.
is this a different? I'm in Bizarro world now. Oh, jeez. Yeah, so that's the Trump trial, and that wondrous show that was.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the greatest show on earth.
It was something.
Ringley, like Barnum and Bailey, Ringley Brothers and Barnum and Bailey present the The Biden administration.
Seriously, it was fucking wild. You know what this is? I know what this all is. It just popped into my head. I'm like, a fucking course. So
Super Earth.
Netflix is coming out with this like AI now that you can basically, I don't know if it's type in or do something. It's only going to be done with cartoons initially, but it's going to go on to like live action, air quotes, where you can type in an idea of a show you want to see with this character doing this thing, and it'll generate it and you can watch it. So my dream of putting Ghostbusters in any fucking horror movie, The Conjuring and The Exorcist, like there you go. We are in that show right now.
Oh fuck!
It's like someone just said, like, let's fucking make a disaster piece. This is like the movie 2012.
Well, could someone search Charlie in a
Careful.
porno or something? A good one, a straight one. That'd be great. No offense.
Yeah, it's Pride Month, you know.
It is
June, yeah.
Oh,
There's Juneteenth. There's Pride. Oh, speaking of Pride Month, I just saw this before you got. I think I might have sent it to you. I saw this before I got here. I'll just show you. It's on Tick of the Talks, and this is what happens when. Okay, so the left tries to encompass every
pedophiles,
disenfranchised minority, like small group, into like one thing and be like, all right, listen, we're here for all of you. But what happens when that amalgamation of all different groups, like different members of it, meet each other? Well, I found a video of what happens when that happens. This is a gay pride parade crossing paths, purposely done too, because these other ones knew they were going to be there, with a pro-Palestine march. Which, if you have any idea of the whole dynamic there, that doesn't work. That's oil and water. So, oops, I just pressed my YouTube side button. There you go.
So, like, is the left ying itself? Like, I did not have this on things I thought I would see this year. Like, think about it. You just
It's
a pride parade gets stopped by free Palestine protesters. Both, which very likely are on the left. The far left, at that. And if you rewind it, you'll see a flag that says there's no pride in Jelly Slide, which I also found interesting. So they knew that the pride parade was going to be there. They decided they were going to protest and like right on its path and stop them. Just super interesting when you think about it.
so.
Welcome to the show.
If you know anything about Palestine, if you're a homosexual over there, kind of a death sentence.
Oh yeah.
Or at least prison. So, there again, like I've said before, we were talking about different things, like, oh, the left seems to be eating itself. Well, here is a
That's
perfect
the snake biting its own tail.
Yeah, this is a video showing exactly that. The pro-Palestinian left and the Pride left meeting each other and really hating each other. See, this is what I said before. Listen, if we could just let this play out, we don't have to do a damn thing. They'll just crumble from within.
Was that him losing his bowels?
That was the black hole they just got sucked into. The dangerous thing is what's coming out. Probably the Illuminated. The lefted. Come on, man. All right. Bye.
Fuck it, whatever.